Selaku Regional Consultant Learning and People Engagement of LinkedIn Indonesia Market dengan tema Skill as the New Currency, Building Relevant Competencies to be Future-Proof. Tepuk tangan yang paling meriah untuk Ibu Jessica.
Selamat siang. Hi, everybody. Hi. Yeah, so my name is Jessica. I'm the Regional Learning and Engagement Consultant at LinkedIn. So today I'm really excited to be given this opportunity to come and share with you guys some of our insights around skills as a new currency, and as well as some of the trending skills Indonesian members are actually learning to future-proof their career. So before I start, I know it's the afternoon, so your lunch is digesting, and maybe you feel a bit sluggish. So I think what I've done is I prepared a couple of questions, right? Just raise your hands, answer, and I will give you a prize, okay? So the prize is actually LinkedIn swag that I brought over specially from Singapore. So yeah, shall we start? Okay? Okay, question 1. What are some of the what was the top skill Indonesian talents were learning in the year 2020? Okay? Business skills, creative skills, soft skills, or digital skills? Anyone? Just raise your hand, make a guess. Yes, you, at the back. Yes, you are right. Thank you. Woo! There you go. Sorry. Help me, Pastor. Thank you. Good job. Yeah, soft skills. We'll definitely be able to share more of these insights later during my presentation. The next question, let's go. Question 2. How much are skill sets for jobs projected to change by the year 2025? 10%, 20%, 30%, 40%. Raise your hands. Let's go. 30. I'm sorry. No. Anyone? Okay. You. Behind. 40%? Good job. Woohoo! Here you go. 40%, that's right. Okay, last question, okay? Employees who feel that their skills are not being put to good use are how many more times likely to be looking for a job? Let's go. 10. That's right. Woo! Good job. Yeah. Thank you. Okay, so thank you so much for your participation. And then for the winners, congratulations. I hope everyone is a little bit more awake right now, so I'll get started. Yeah, I don't. 70% of the CEO identified skills, right, shortages as a major disruptor to their business strategy. At LinkedIn, we suggest a skill-first mindset, embracing skills really to address your talent problems. And our CEO, Ryan, has been sharing many times, right, we need a skill-first mindset, and the change is happening now. But not just our customers, right, and not our members just talking about skills, right? This slide shows you some headlines, right, of the CEOs and HR leaders, and even US President Biden has shared in his State of Union address that you hire workers based on skills, right, and not just their degree. So we're definitely seeing this shift now because a lot of industry leaders and experts, they know that this is the path going forward, right, to drive talent success strategy. But honestly, what is skill first, right? Like you might be wondering, okay, in a nutshell, think of every role that you have can be broken down into a set of skills, right? And every one of us here, right, regardless of our experience, have different skill sets that we've acquired over, our career. And so adopting a skill-first approach means that you assess the candidate based on the skill first to see if this candidate is qualified, right? And so it is really going beyond like your credentials, your connections, your experience, right? And then really looking at skills first, you'll be able to find talents who have the skills, right, that can easily fit your role. This skill-first mindset also helps to power internal mobility. So that helps in really keeping your employees, right, keeping employee retention. According to the survey by World Economic Forum, right, 50%, right, of all employees need reskilling by 2025. 2025 is maybe about 2.5 to 3 years away, right? So I think food for thought as business leaders sitting here in the room, really when you look at your organization, you want to see if they have adequate training in place for your employees. Or do you have clarity on what kind of skills you need to train your employees on? Gone are the days where roles and jobs, they stay the same, right? Because as businesses evolve, the new roles come into the market. And these top in-demand jobs may not have existed maybe 10 years ago, right? So if you want to take on this new job, you want to take on this new role, you will need to learn these new skills. And even if, let's say, assuming that you're not looking for a new job, right? Assuming that your role hasn't changed, but the skill sets needed for that role is changing. So upskilling yourself is really the key, right, to you staying relevant in your current role. So if you really think about it, skills are the new currency of the labor market. This slide shows you that not only the pandemic and the great reshuffle has accelerated the redefinition of work and skills, right? But from our LinkedIn data, it shows that our skills for job have changed globally by 25% since 2015 and are projected to change to 40% by 2025. An example that I can give you would be, for example, the finance professionals. So these finance professionals, their skill sets have been reshaped with the rise of digital assets and digital currencies, right? Bitcoining skills, cryptocurrency skills were one of the fastest growing needed skills, right, on our platform. And crypto jobs were also the fastest growing on our platform. The skills like cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, blockchain, Ethereum, these were some of the top skills, right? And it surged almost close to 400% in the US in 2021. Now, right now, maybe the crypto market is not doing too well, right? And maybe the crypto jobs are not as hot as before. But in 2021, which was just last year, a lot of the professionals who wanted to take on these crypto-related, blockchain-related jobs have to learn those new skills. And if you think about it, 10 years ago, nobody was really talking much about crypto, right? Why do you trust our LinkedIn data? I think for us, we have a unique view across our 850 million members, right? And right now, globally, we have around 15 million jobs, and we have 39,000 skills in our skills taxonomy. This really reinforces that our data is comprehensive, and it is one of the most trusted sources in the market. If you leverage on our skills data, you will get insights on what kind of skills are needed by your employees and how these skills are going to change. We'll explore a little further on how much and how fast, right, the skill sets have changed over the years, especially in Indonesia, right? So to understand how skills have changed, right, you need to first identify the top 10 skills, right, of a worker in the past for a specific role, and then compare with a worker today, the top 10 skills, okay? So you'll realize that some of the top skills may be similar, right? But some may be reshuffled because it has dropped, right? It's not as important anymore. Some removed, right? Because the skills are not relevant anymore. Some are new skills because maybe these are fast-growing industries. So skills are quickly evolving, right? And many of the top skills today are maybe similar to what we see of the past. So it's easier for companies to maybe refresh and retrain their employees since they already have existing skills, right? So this slide shows you, right, from our LinkedIn data, that from a HR specialist, right, in Indonesia, the skills have changed an average of almost close to 32% since 2015, okay? And if you look at the 2021 chart, right, like the top 10 skills versus the top 2015, you will realize that there are actually 7 new skills in 2021 that were not there in 2015, right? These could be new skills that have come to the market, or because as businesses evolve, right, there is a redefinition of the skills. Next, another example I want to share with you is an IT specialist in Indonesia, right? The skills of for this IT specialist, right, has changed an average of about 21% since 2015. And again, if you look at the 2021 top 10 skills, there are 7 new skills, right, that are not there in 2025. These are some examples, and what I really wanted to reiterate is that the skills have evolved, right, even for the same role. Sharing across with you guys, right, like some key trends in Indonesia, right? And I think if you can see here, I know it's very small, 2020, this small green arrow here, that was the start of the pandemic, right? So the skills, right, that everybody was learning at this time amongst our Indonesian members was actually soft skills, okay? The uptick of soft skills. Focus topics like presentation, decision making, right? Like communication and problem solving. These were some of the popular topics. Soft skills, some people call them human skills, right? And these were on the rise because of the way of how we changed, right, when we work. The pandemic was here, everybody was working from home, everything was more virtual. So that's why soft skills went up, human skills, as they say. And if you look at 2021, right, that small red arrow down there, there was an uptick in digital skills, right? And this was because, restrictions eased a little. There was a little bit of reopening, right? Companies were demanding more digital skills. So focus topics will be things like, for example, Canva, Google Sheets, Flutter. These were some of the top skills and popular skills during this period of time, right? And as companies demanded more digital skills, right, due to digitalization, the Indonesian talents responded to it. And therefore, we saw an uptick, right? And now if you look at the blue arrow there at 2022, right, what we are seeing is that even with the uptake of digital skills, soft skills has still emerged top, right? And this really talks about the importance of having soft skills as a core, right, of every business, because be it good times, right, COVID times are bad times, good times, COVID times, better times, 2021 times, that is one of the main skill, right, that a company should have to thrive, right? And so we do see a lot of companies coming to us and really, having this soft skill as a topic, because they feel that their employees and as the companies learn these skills, they will be more agile and more adaptable to this ever-changing environment. Next, exploring a little further, right, on some of the skill gaps that are evolving in Indonesia. And this skill gap, right, is based on our LinkedIn data, what we see of there is a greater demand versus the supply in the market. And in Indonesia, the greatest mismatch is actually from the graphic design competency, okay? So in the graphic design competency, some of the skills will be things like Photoshop, Illustrator, design, CorelDRAW, and web designs. And here's the good news, right? With all these skill gaps in mind, right, we have the call to action has already been mapped out from our extensive LinkedIn Learning library, right? On this slide, it shows you the LinkedIn Learning courses that you can take to develop these graphic design competencies, right? So things like, for example, Photoshop, Vector, Illustrator, etc. LinkedIn Learning is also not foreign to Indonesia, right? Like our LinkedIn Learning engagement in Indonesia has been increasing, and the time spent on LinkedIn Learning by members in Indonesia actually increased by 3.4% since the end of 2019. And on this side, we can see these are the 10 top courses viewed in the last 12 months by our Indonesian members. So you can see that they are actually learning soft and hard skills. So things like, for example, 6 morning habits of high performers, right? Excel skills, speaking confidently, project management skills, right? For example, strategic thinking. These are some of the topics that our members in Indonesia are actually learning. Besides future-proofing your career, learning has other great benefits, right? So firstly, upskilling and learning creates great culture. According to Glynn's employee well-being report, right, the drivers of great work culture really shows that, people nowadays, the employees nowadays, they are not just looking for a paycheck, right? And the top driver of a great work culture is opportunities to learn and grow, right? And so previously, opportunities to learn and grow was at like number 9, and that has significantly changed in the last 2 years. The other benefit of learning is learning and internal mobility opportunities help to improve your employees' retention. We find that employees who change roles internally, be it via promotion or like moving laterally, are more likely to stay in a company versus somebody who is in the same role, right? And we think that, and this actually is in line and consistent with our Glynn data, right, that says that career is one of the top driver for engagement across countries and culture. Engagement is highly correlated with retention, right? And so if your employees feel that their skills are not being put to good use in their current role, will feel disengaged and are 10 times more likely to be looking for a new job. So how do you power this skill-first talent strategy with LinkedIn? I think for us, we provide very unique skills data, right? Like so, you can identify these skills for your business goals. The next thing is we empower skill-first hiring. So be it whether internally or externally. And lastly, we empower employees to identify and develop these skills, right, that is necessary for them to accelerate their career, right? So really keeping them engaged and increasing your retention. This is an overview of the LinkedIn ecosystem, right? And what we want to be is your trusted advisor for all things talent. LinkedIn Talent Solution is here for your whole talent cycle. So meaning to say, from hiring, right, from your people hiring, to giving you the right kind of skills to achieve your business goals. And then really retaining your talent by empowering them to develop the skills that they need to grow in their organization. We are already starting to see the value of skill-first hiring. I'll share a little bit of a personal story of myself. So I'm a true testament to skill-first hiring. I have about 13 years of banking sales experience, and my last 7 years I spent as an investment specialist. So what I did was, talk to clients, right, and then recommend to them the suite of banking investment products. So totally unrelated to tech, I took my chest of skills that I've built over my banking days, went for the countless rounds of interview, got the job, and here I am, right? Yeah, so at LinkedIn, we do walk the talk of skill-first hiring, and we are not the only ones. And on this slide, you can see already last year, 45% of the hirers on LinkedIn have explicitly used skills data to find talent. And that is actually up by around 20% year on year. These 45% of hirers have 60% more likelihood to find a successful hire when screening using skills. And as our members, right, continue to want to showcase their talent, we have seen 338 million skills that were added to profiles last year alone. So before I go, I would just like to show you this number, right? The World Economic Forum estimates that we need to reskill more than 1 billion people, right? Or almost 1/3 of the jobs worldwide will be transformed by technology in the next decade. 1 billion is a big number, right? But it doesn't need to be daunting because LinkedIn is here to help, right? So feel free to chat with any one of us out there at the LinkedIn and MBO booth. And with that, I thank you for your time and attention. Thank you.